What language did the Trojans speak? The Iliad and the Odyssey talk about these mythical Trojans who lived across the Aegean from the Greeks who eventually destroyed their city with the Trojan horse. But actually, there's pretty good evidence that Troy wasn't just a myth. Archaeological excavations in modern-day Turkey show evidence of a city that lines up pretty well with the story, including major signs of conflict and destruction around the time that the Trojan War would have taken place. In the stories, the Trojans are usually depicted as speaking Greek, but it's not clear if that's supposed to be an assumed translation or if that's actually what they spoke. There were Greek settlements in Anatolia around the time of the Trojan War, but these weren't really cities, and the stories make it pretty clear that the Trojans weren't Greek, even if they're depicted as speaking Greek. But it seems more likely that they would have spoken their own distinct language, and there's some theories about what it was. One speculative theory is that they spoke a pre-Indo-European language. So by the time of the Trojan War, most of Europe and Western Anatolia spoke Indo-European languages. These languages were the results of centuries of migrations that wiped out the previous languages of these areas and then replaced them with descendants of Proto-Indo-European. The pre-Indo-European theory proposes that the Trojan language is one of those languages that didn't get replaced. And this is based off of some place names and river names that don't really seem Indo-European. But a more supported theory is that they actually did speak an Indo-European language. By the way, I keep saying Anatolia, and what I mean by that is this peninsula that today contains most of modern Turkey. I point that out because the branch of Indo-European languages that were spoken there were called the Anatolian languages. None of them survive today, but they're the result of one of the oldest splits in the Indo-European language family. And in nearby excavations, texts in one of these Anatolian languages were found. Today we call that language Luwian. Luwian was known to be spoken around the borders of the Hittites, who spoke another Anatolian language, Hittite. And the Hittites referred to what we think were the Trojans as Wilusa. And this is pretty close to the old Greek name for them, Wilios or Ilios or later Ilion, the source of the name of the myth Iliad. So this connection plus the nearby text suggests that they probably spoke an Anatolian language, likely Luwian. And as an Indo-European language, Luwian is distantly related to Greek and also English.